Hey, this is Ryan in the Instructional Technology Center, and today I'm going to be talking to you about safe assignments within Blackboard. So this first tutorial we're going to talk about how to actually set up a safe assignment, and then the next one we'll talk about grading and interpreting a safe assignment. So what is a safe assignment? Well, it's a plagiarism prevention tool. So what SafeAssign does is it has your students turn in papers, and then it checks those papers against documents from the internet and databases, publications, and document archives, and even papers from other universities and within our own university to prevent plagiarism within the university and prevent that cross-institutional plagiarism. So you can see how this would be great for teachers, obviously, but you can also set it up to help students properly credit their sources if you do it with the draft function, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So how would we set up a safe assign? Really, all you're going to do is it's going to look a lot like setting up a normal assignment. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into my assignments folder, and you might have it in course documents or anything like that. And up here across the top we have assessments, and we have tests, surveys, assignment, and then also safe assignment. Before we even get into that, a normal assignment looks like this. It has, the black writing, and it has this sort of icon with the little book. A safe assignment looks like a little check mark, so that's how students will tell the difference between those assignments. So let's create one. I'm going to go to Assessment, Safe Assignment. Now really, this should all look very similar if you've created an assignment before. If you haven't created an assignment or would like to know how to create an assignment, this little drop box that's going to drop down right now, you can click on that and you can learn how to create an assignment within Blackboard. But here, really all we need is we need a name, and we also have to give it a points possible because this assignment is going to drop into our grade center the same as a normal assignment. We can give it a due date and instructions, things like that, but really I'm going to focus your attention on a couple of these options that are specific to safe assignments. So make the assessment available. Really that's just so that your safe assignment will show up to your students in your course. Now this draft checkbox down here towards the bottom this is what you would use if you wanted to have students turn it in and then just be able to get the assessment so that they can see and properly credit their sources. So maybe this is a safe assign that they turn in not actually for the final due date, but maybe a week before, so they can make sure that they properly cited everything. What draft also does is it doesn't index them through the other institutional databases, so it doesn't do that yet. It sort of lets them make changes. So you can click on draft if you like that. There's also urgent checking, which apparently bumps up your papers to the top of the queue. I wouldn't necessarily count on that every time though. Student viewable, if you check this over to yes, that means the students will able to also access their report that SafeAssign gives them at the end of what things are plagiarized. So if you want the students to be able to check this, like you have this draft setting, then you would click this over to yes. If you don't want the students to see that, click it over to no. Alright, so once we do that, I'm going to hit submit. And that's going to add it to my assignment. So now they can click view and complete, and that's where they can turn in their assignment, same as they would any other normal assignment. Another way you can do this is, let's say you have you had a bunch of papers turned in and you think that there is plagiarism in one of them. You didn't set up a safe assignment, you just had that as a normal assignment. Well, you can do those 1Z2Z checks by going to the course tools and clicking on safe assign within there. Now what this is going to give you is there's two options. There's safe assignment. This is where you're going to view safe assignments in the course. This you can see if you actually set up a safe assignment and all the students turned it in, this is where you'll find them. But there's also a direct submit. So if I click on that, it's going to show different papers that I've submitted and then their matching reports. So if I wanted to add a paper, I would just submit a paper, and I can browse and add my safe assign paper, or I could copy and paste it into here. Now there's also a couple options. I can submit this as a draft, and we talked about that before, where it's not adding it to this institutional search database, or I can add it only to the institutional search database and skip the plagiarism checking for everything else outside of that. Alright, so once you get that done, you'll just scroll down to the bottom and hit submit. and you can see it's added it to my queue. I've already added this one a couple times, but then I can download the file and look at it, but I can't see the report yet, and that's just because it hasn't come back. The timing, depending on these, might be as short as a few minutes for it to check your report, or it might be sometimes as long as a day or two, depending on the time of the semester. End of the year finals might clog it up a bit. So now that you've seen how to create a safe assignment, the next tutorial is going to show you how to grade and interpret that safe assignment report that you're going to get.